going on, guys? This is Bruce Matson, your host of the show. No name yet for the show, but we're moving right along. Super Bowl's over, and we're heavy now into draft season, where the rubber meets the road, and we're full-fledged digging deep into these prospects. Already got a lot of videos out on these players, so if you're interested in that, or if you're wanting to learn more about the NFL draft, what's coming up, if you play Dynasty Fantasy Football, I suggest you hit that subscribe button, look through the archives, and just watch them all. Get knowledged up, catch up on the game, and follow along, because I'm going to keep putting out content left and right on these players, coming from different viewpoints, and that's just how we do it here. But today, I'm going to be talking about Jaylen Waddle. Jaylen Waddle, wide receiver from Alabama. And he's a very fascinating prospect, because when you look at the numbers from a market share standpoint, he hasn't really broken out yet. He would have broken out this year because he got injured and he was on a hectic pace just to break the NCAA, be one of the top wide receivers. Well, he had like 4 straight 100-yard games, 100-plus yard games. He was just blowing it up. But his first year, age 19, only 15.6% market share, and 12.18 at age 20. And then this year was his age 21 season. Finished with just 10%, but you know he would have been minimum 25% if he would have finished off the year. Minimum. This would have been his breakout season. A lot of times with the injuries, though, you kind of got to count that against him. So technically he hasn't broken out. When any of that, of the context, they'll just fade. And then other people, you work the context in. It's however you want to do it. I do a little bit of both. It really depends on the context. I look at the context and I think about it, and I objectively fight myself all draft season long. 1, there's nothing else to do. And then 2, I feel like if you're not thinking about the context and you're not looking at it and you're not extrapolating it, then you're really not being objective. And my goal is just to give information and give objective opinions or objective views of players to help you guys. Me, I'm good. I win leagues and all that stuff, but the base of my content is to help people. So if I'm not looking at things objective, if I'm just planting flags and saying, there you go, then I'm really not helping you, because I really want you to learn how to do this on your own. So me talking through things objectively helps newer players, helps veteran players pick up new things, pick up new strategies on how to play Dynasty Fantasy Football. So metrically, he did not make it there, but when you watch him on tape, you can see where he can be successful at the NFL level. He's hyper athletic. He's got a lot of burst. He can get behind the defense quick. If he gets paired with a strong arm quarterback, he gets just a decent amount of volume. He doesn't even have to have 20% target share. I'm talking like 15, 18% range, and he's getting high ADOT, which a guy with that speed will, and shallow targets with space. He's going to be dangerous. Not all these prospects going to hit. So he does have wide receiver 1 upside, but he also is highly likely just to be a volatile wide receiver asset in fantasy, which is fine. And his downside could be nothing. He does have a low floor, I think, because he hasn't been productive in college. He hasn't proven he can stand up above the competition at Alabama. He's proven he can be good on the field, look good on the field, but statistically he hasn't proven that outside of those 4 games where he blew up earlier this year. So there is a low floor for Jaylen Waddle. I see that. I see his spectrum being all over the place. What I like mostly is he's getting mocked high in mock drafts by big draft media or big draft, which means that they're talking to a lot of scouts, a lot of NFL teams, and he's cemented as a first-round option. So he's more likely going to be a first-round pick, probably going to be a high first-round pick, one of the first wide receivers off the board, which is very enticing. Probably going to be around the 3rd or 4th wide receiver off the board, and that means he's going to get opportunity early in his career. That does not mean he will be productive. That doesn't mean everything, but when you look at the skill set You look at draft capital, and if it's a good match, a good fit, then it could be all systems go. This is a very deep wide receiver class, so the fluidity of how we rank him is going to be a little bit all over the place in that top 5, top 10 tierish range, wherever, amongst a lot of people's ranks. It's really your flavor. Like, Rashad Bateman is going to be ahead of him in a lot of ranks. Some people may have Rondell Moore, and then it may be like De'Ami Brown, Elijah Moore. Some people could have them higher, and objectively thinking, I can understand why. But I just want to let you know that since this wide receiver class is so deep and so good, that you could see values of a guy like Jaylen Waddle all over the place, because he has reasons why we should rank him high, and he also has reasons why we should fade him a little bit. We shouldn't fade him completely because the talent is evident, and it's not like his talent wasn't evident early in his career. There was a lot of very smart people talking him up years ago, when he was a freshman, when he was producing then. Even though it wasn't high-end production, you could just see it on the field. And he is a very good player. He's a very tough player to rank this year just because of how deep this class is. My biggest advice would be, if you don't absolutely need a running back in the top portion of the draft, maybe trade back and maybe stack up on 2 wide receivers, and you get double the chances of hitting, because all these wide receivers are good, a lot of them. So I can see multiple reasons why they can hit, and they're just going to go off at different times, kind of like fireworks do. So that's my take on that, and that's how I'm going to implement my strategies in rookie drafts this year. He will be a first-round pick in rookie drafts this spring. I guarantee it, mid to late first. Really depends on where he goes and who drafts him. He will be a first round pick in the regular draft. He'll have his following, he'll have his believers, and it just depends whether he's going to be like a mid-first guy or a late-first guy. I've seen mocks where he's been around like the 1.8 range, and I've seen him go around like the 1.6-ish, so it just really depends. This wide receiver class is stacked with talent, so if you're in like the 1.8 spot, 1.10, 1.9, 6, whatever, you're in for a good player, a good prospect at least. That being said, I like Jaylen Waddle. I'd like him immensely if he was in a different class. Like if he was in a like 2017 class, 2016, where the pool was a little shallower, he'd be really up there. But this is just a deep class, and just because he gets ranked 5th, 6th, 7th in someone's ranks, that doesn't mean he's bad. This is a deep class, so you got to think of it this way. And his ranking will be volatile. Just because of that. A lot of people are going to be up and down with him. And I'm kind of very fluid with how I think about him. I like him. I like him a lot. I want him on my dynasty teams. I think he's a very good player. How I fit him and work him into this rookie draft or my rookie ranks is very puzzling to me. I was tinkering with my ranks last night, and I was like, where do I put him? Why should I put him ahead of this guy? But I feel like he should be ahead of that guy, and it's a headache. I'm going to have a video out, though, with my wide receiver tiers here soon, so you're going to want to stick around for that. But that'll be in a few days. It'll be out there. But I do like Jaylen Waddle. I want to thank you guys for watching the show. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. And I'll catch you next time. Peace